Hi beauties, I'm Cara the theBubblelush, and this is supposed to be my week in the life, but it's going to be very different this week. And basically I just wanted to sit down and talk with you guys because there's a lot going on right now in our family, and I want to talk to you. So, usually I share my journeys. If you've been following this channel, you watched me go through infertility with both of my children, with pregnancies of both of my children, and now as my life as a mother. And so while I want to share this journey with you, this new journey that we are on, I purposefully did not share the first few stages of it because it affects our entire family and it affects our children, and it was a really, really big decision. And Chris and I decided that we didn't want to share it until it was official because we wanted to be able to stop at any time and change our mind, and we didn't want to have to explain ourselves to everybody. Does that kind of make sense? So for the past year, we have basically been taking classes, having meetings, interviews, doing paperwork, lots and lots of paperwork, and now it's official. So I know that this is kind of coming out of left field for some of you, but Chris and I are very excited to share that we are now certified foster parents. This is now a certified foster home, and we are so excited about it, and Hannah is so excited, and William's just William. So I wanted to share the story of our first placement, our first call, because I think that that is so memorable to anyone that is a foster parent. So what happened was, last Wednesday, I took Hannah and William to the movies. Regal Cinema is doing this thing all summer long. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they had kids movies at 10 a.m. and they were only $1 a ticket. So it was awesome, and we did it like all the time this summer. So I took the kids and we were sitting down and watching Rio 2. About halfway through the movie, William started getting really antsy. And those of you that have been to a movie theater, you know when they have the stadium seating, when you walk in, there's kind of an alleyway, and then when you turn around the corner of that partial wall, there's all the seats. So Hannah was sitting right on the edge, so I just took William over to that little like alleyway and on the other side of the wall, and he was running up and down, and he could still see the screen and I could still see Hannah, but he could kind of get some energy out, and he was doing it nice and quietly, so it worked for everybody. And all of a sudden my phone starts vibrating in my back pocket. So I look at Hannah, she's totally engrossed in the movie, and you know how there's like there's two sets of doors you have to walk through to get into the theater? So I go through the first set of door, and I'm in this like kind of box between the two doors in the theater, and I answer the phone, and it's the placement desk, and she introduces herself because obviously this is the first time that we've talked, and she goes, "We want to let you know that there's a placement that we think might be a really good fit for your family, and we want to know if you're interested in, so let me tell you about the kids." There is a 9-month-old boy, swoon, little baby, perfect. There is a 3-year-old girl, and I'm thinking, this is awesome. And she goes, and there's a 6-year-old girl. So Chris and I agreed that we would take, we were open to 2 children, 5 and under, because we want to stay close to Hannah's age. We want to kind of keep that idea of birth order. And since Hannah has always been the oldest, and as far as like clothing, kid gear, what our house is kind of like focused around, 5 and under just works really well for us. So with a 6-year-old, that comes school, which we've never done before. I don't have any clothing for a size 6, like none. And it was just a little out of our wheelhouse. So I was kind of concerned about it. And then, you know, this is what's going on in my head. And she says, so we were wondering if you would take the 3 and 6-year-old and we'll find a different house for the 9-month-old, which, you know, that's completely opposite of what I was thinking. And so my first reaction is, well, if we wanted the 9-month-old too, can we do that to keep them all together? Because I'm thinking, I cannot imagine telling Hannah that she can no longer live with William. Like, that would break her heart. That would be so hard for her. And so she goes, well, I mean, yeah, if you wanted all 3 and you could make it work, then that would be fine. And I go, okay, so give me, I was like, I'm in the movie theater. Give me like 15 minutes. Let me get my daughter and all of our stuff out of the theater. Let me call my husband and get in the car, and I'll call you right back. And she's like, yeah, sure. So I go, Hannah, and she's like, I'm watching a movie. And I go, Hannah, we got a phone call. And she goes, we got a phone call about kids? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, okay. And she's like super excited. She has her shoes kicked off, you know, she's like enjoying the movie. And so I'm like, get your shoes on. So she gets her shoes on, I get all, you know, the water bottles and stuff and put them all in my diaper bag, and we head out. She goes, but what about the movie? I go, I'll buy you the movie. Like, let's go. This is more important. So she's super excited, and William's like feeding off of our energy, and it's just kind of all of a sudden super happy and a little chaotic. And so I call Chris when we're still in the movie theater, and I get him at work, and I explain the situation that they want us to take the 3-year-old and 6-year-old, and he goes, well, can't we take the baby? Because I can't imagine telling Hannah that she couldn't live with William anymore. And in that moment, I'll tell you, Chris and I are celebrating our anniversary this month. We've been together for 12 years. And you know how, like, when you're with somebody, when you're married to somebody, they will do things and it just makes you love them more than you ever thought you could. And when he said that, my heart just, like, grew 3 sizes. Like, Anyway, so I go, well, you know what, that's exactly what I thought. And he goes, we'll make it work. We will make it work. If those kids need a safe home, we have a safe home. So just call him back and say yes. And he's like, I usually get off at like 2, I'll try to get off at 1. You know, I'll be home in an hour and I'll help you get everything set up and we'll make it work. So I called him back and said yes, told him that we would be ready at about 2 o'clock. And at 2:30 they brought over the kids, and all of a sudden we went from a family of 4 to a family of 7. We had 5 kids under 7, and it was insane. It's just crazy to go from, like, when you go out and about, instead of just doing, you know, 2 car seats, you're now doing 5 car seats, and there are more kids than you have hands for, even when you're with your husband. Like, 5 kids is a lot of kids, but it was also so much energy and so much joy. We were really lucky in our first placement that the kids were happy to be with us. That, you know, you could tell that they had lacked some structure, and, you know, consequences and rules were kind of a foreign idea to them. But overall, they weren't angry at us, and they were really happy to be in our home. So that made our first placement really a joy. It worked really well. William and the baby John, played together, and then Hannah and Brenna and Jessica, they all played together, the older girls, and it just worked really well. So they came on a Wednesday, and on that Friday they notified us that there was a biological family member that was willing to take all 3 kids. And if you're new to the foster system, their number 1 goal is to reunite families and to keep the kids with biological family members. That takes precedent over anything. So the fact that there was a biological family member that was willing to take all 3 kids and keep them together was like the new plan. So over the weekend and everything, they did background checks and certified the home, and on Tuesday they let us know that the kids were going to be moving. So Brenna was really sad the day that they came. She was like, I'm not going. And, you know, we were all out riding bikes, and I go, you gotta go. You gotta stay with your sister and your brother, and this is gonna be great, and, you know, this is your family and they love you. And she's like, I'm gonna miss you so much. I want to stay with you. And it broke my heart. We're learning as new foster parents that, you know, every second that the kid is with us, we want to be of service to them, and we want to fill that time, whatever time we have with them, with as much love and support and structure and, you know, role modeling, everything that we can, because we never know when it's going to end. When they first came to us, they didn't think that there was any family members that could take them, and so this was looking like a long-term placement, like they were going to be with us 6 months, and instead they were with us for 6 days, and it changed, you know, in an instant. So it's hard because even though you know they're eventually going to leave, and they're either, you know, they're going to find their forever home, be it back with their parents or family members or with an adoptive family, you still love them and you still care about them, and all of their fears kind of become your fears, and you just start hoping and praying that everything works out for them, and you know, wanting to fight all their battles for them kind of thing. Like, you just take it on like you're a parent. And someone said to me, well, you know, you just can't get attached. And I completely disagree with that, because I think that if you are doing this out of love and, you know, concern for these kids, then you are going to get attached, and you're going to love them, and your heart's going to be broken when they leave, and you're going to miss them, and it's hard. It's really hard. You know, every time it's going to be hard to say goodbye. But just because it's hard and it's going to break my heart a little bit every time doesn't mean that it is not something worthy of doing. Because I know that the good outweighs the bad. And that my life is better for them being in it, and hopefully their life is better for me being in their life. And that in a moment that was so pivotal and defining and scary in their life, I just hope that I was able to bring a little peace and calm and love to that situation, and just be a positive force in their life for however short of a time they're here. That's kind of my hope. It's weird to be happy and heartbroken all at the same time. I'm glad that we've spent the past year preparing Hannah, and letting her know while we're doing this, and really having an open dialogue with her. And she is so excited about the process, and she is so proud, I think is the best way to say it. She's proud that her home is a safe home. She's proud that we can help these kids, and she wants to do it, and she's very eager about it. And as soon as the kids left, she was talking about, like, you know, are we going to have more kids? When are they going to come? Are they going to be boys or girls or babies or big kids? And so I think I'm just so impressed with her and so proud of her that she's handling this so well. And this has really kind of become our whole family's mission and service. And we're just excited about it. Hello, Hannah?
Mom, I found a coin, a big one.
Oh, can you go put it in your piggy bank?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you and Apollo go upstairs and put that in your piggy bank? It's by your stuffed animals.
Okay.
Anyway, this is changing our channel a lot because there's certain things that we can and can't do online with foster children. So I'm going to make a whole separate video, one about the process of becoming certified in the state of Oregon, because I want that to be out there for people, because when we were looking for that information, it was really hard to find. And then I also want to share this journey with you from our perspective as foster parents and biological parents, and kind of how this is working for our family while respecting the privacy of the children, because this obviously, this isn't like a soap opera, this is their life. And so we want to be mindful of that. So it's going to be kind of like interesting figuring out how to make this work online, but we think that it is a good thing to share and a good message to share. And so we want to take you on with us to our new journey. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you have any questions or comments, I'm sure you probably do, feel free to leave them in a comment below. I'll either answer them down in the comments, or, if they kind of are a great video topic, I'll just make a whole video about it. So that's kind of it. That's our new journey, and we're super excited about it. And yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.